Okay, so I want to do one quick little shout out. I did start playing Tales of the Shire.
Yes, I did too.
On Switch 2.
I hope it looks better than it does on Switch 1.
It is not optimated for Switch 2.
Oh, boy.
It is set for Switch 1, so I probably won't play it again until they do a patch.
Yeah.
Because it was rough.
When we booted it up on the Switch, and Kelly saw it on the Switch instead of on Steam, she was like, ooh. We all were kind of like the leaves didn't actually load in properly. Is very, very chunky.
Well, and it's like, dude, I have it, like, you have it on this, like, this new, and there's this big thing going around, and it is true that third-party software is not selling as well as the first-party software on Switch 2. And what I've seen with a lot of third-party software is that they are not optimizing it for the Switch 2. And that is why, because people are like, I am getting a Switch 2 because I don't want to play Switch 1 games that are not running well.
Yeah.
And you're going to put a fucking game on that, and there's no excuses after playing. I have played Cyberpunk on Switch 2. There is no excuses for these other companies to not have their games running well. This game runs at 60 frames per second. It is an insane game to be running on a handheld like the Switch 2, and it runs great. So games like Tales of the Shire, and I'll be honest, I did not pick up Madden today because of what I've seen about that. Mm-hmm. And once again, how are you not optimizing this shit?
Yeah.
If you don't know how to fucking do it, contact Nintendo and say, what magic do you have?
Yeah.
Because I have a game here that if we can optimize it, will sell 30, 40 million copies and help you sell systems.
Yeah.
Help us.
Help us make it better.
Help us make it better.
No, the thing about Madden that blew me out was the trailer was like, like every fucking Madden, we've spent the last year optimizing Madden to make it even more like the NFL experience. This is like being in the game yourself. And I'm like, okay, that's first off, that's not what I want. Second off, it's not true either.
Yeah.
Third, they then at the end of the trailer tout this new card system that allows you to raise the stats of players.
Yes. It's a play to win.
So it's not just like the NFL.
No.
It's not at all just like the NFL. So you sold me this bill of goods at the top of this, that this was going to be an NFL experience, and then you said, oh, but also here's some hanky-pankering that you can get into.
And that's the other thing, and I mentioned this when we first talked about this. I want to say it's a 78 gig download for the Switch 2. And it is one of the key cards, so you have to download the entire 78 gigs to get it on your system. But it has all of that stuff, the cards, the create a play, like, you needed to streamline this game. Cut all that shit out.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if you would have had a tight, solid Madden game with, I believe there's a new coach mode on this, which you could have kept that.
Yeah.
But had the franchise mode, the dynasty mode, the online dynasty and franchise modes, the coach mode, just those modes, and optimize the shit out of it, you still could have gotten $70 for that fucking game. Yeah. And people would have paid for it if it ran well.
Yeah. Well, like, my thing is that they got rid of the creative team over 10 years ago. And I will not buy a Madden game until they restore the creative team, at least not at full price. I might get the Josh Allen Madden from a few years ago just to have it, because that was a really good Bills team on top of everything else. But, like, my bread and butter was making a creative team. That was how I played Madden. That was the most engaging way for me to play Madden. You know, because, like, I can go in and make Trent Edwards great and play as the 09 Bills and actually get them past a 5-0 start and get into the playoffs and all these other things. That's great. You know what's even cooler? Making my own fucking team. Yeah. That's way cooler.
And I'm going to use Fortnite as a thing for Madden. So Fortnite on Switch 2, the menus and, like, the loading, not the best. Like, it's kind of janky, but when you get into the match, it's smooth as silk.
Yeah.
And it's like, they understand. So, like, Madden, I don't give a shit about the bells and whistles. When I get into the game, that shit should run minimum 60 frames per second, smooth as silk.
No glitches.
And that is the big problem with this Madden on Switch 2, is of what I've seen in the reviews, is it is choppy.
Chunky.
And it's chunky. And you're playing online, because I believe it is cross-platform play.
It is.
So you're playing online with people on PS5s and Xboxes and PCs, it needs to run smooth so you can have a chance.
Yeah.
Like when I'm playing Fortnite, you know who's a mobile player. Because all of a sudden they start glitching and you kill their ass super fast. And it's like, that's the problem with that. It's like you need to be on equal footing to make it fun.
Yeah.
And it's just not.
Yeah.
And it's fucking making me mad. But like this Tales of the Shire thing made me so fucking mad because I've been so looking forward to it. And it's like, dude.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Nobody gives a shit about Xbox now. I'm just being completely honest.
There's a lot of word out there that Xbox is kind of slowly fading.
Well, it's
kind of like
they're making too many. Like I don't think they're ever going to recover from the Xbox One.
Yeah,
that launch, that whole fuck.
That was bad.
That was the worst.
That was bad.
And they've been trying to recover. They burned like they were building from. What, the first Xbox to Xbox 360, they're building all this good, and even the Red Ring of Death didn't kill the 360. They were still able to have enough faith, people have faith in them, and then they fucked it up.
Well, and like, I had the 360. I bought a secondhand 360, and I went through 2 Red Rings of Death, and I still sent that bad boy in and got it fixed.
Yeah.
Both times. Because I bought the warranty off the guy I bought it secondhand from. And so it's like, fuck it, we're going to do this. Let's do it. And, God, I have so many happy memories of playing Xbox 360. Yeah. That was like the first system since the PS2 that I really connected with. The PS3, nah. The Xbox 360, weirdly, yes.
Yeah. But you think about, I'm even taking the PS5 out of this. You think of the 2 systems that people want to play Tales of the Shire on. PC, Switch.
Yeah.
Because that is the top 2 playing atmospheres for Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Switch, you have Animal Crossing. So why are you not fucking doing everything in your power to optimize it for those 2? Especially knowing the Switch 2's coming out. It's like I believe it came out, they've already sold over 6 million Switch 2s. Dude, you would have probably 4 million people buying this because you could have pushed it as, hey, I know this is an Animal Crossing, but this is the Lord of the Rings version of Animal Crossing. Yeah. And it runs beautifully, and it looks amazing.
Cozy gaming is a genre of gaming.
Yes!
There's a whole genre of cozy games out there. And the fact that you're not... I just want to know what happened. Because I think the issue, from my perspective, is we had 2 delays.
Yes.
They got rid of all the pomp and circumstance of, like, we're going to release this on Bilbo and Frodo's birthday. They got rid of all that. They were no, we just need to get it out now. Is that why it's not optimized for Switch? What happened?
I don't know.
In the process that made it so it had to be delayed twice? Because I look at the game that they delivered, and it feels like a game that's going to be patched into effectiveness.
They need to patch it.
Even elements of the game that I just look at and I just can't comprehend.
Yeah.
Having a cozy game with no romance system. Having a cozy game where you can't talk to everyone in town.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of befuddling to me that they've made some of these decisions, which appear to be made because they were on a time crunch. Mm-hmm. But why were they on a time crunch? What about this game was so developmentally heavy that they couldn't get it done on time?
I'll be honest, the creative character also kind of bothered me because it's like you start, instead of choosing a male or a female, and then building it from that, you get a female character that you have to kind of convert into a male character.
It's a non-binary character.
Not exactly, but it's like, okay, but there are male and female hobbits.
They start you in a skirt and with long hair.
Yeah.
So it's like you do have to kind of like, okay, well, we're not going to do that.
But it's like, dude, there's... I understand you could do whatever you want inclusion-wise, but it's like the basic premise to most of these games are put a third option in it. Then.
Yeah.
But it's like... It took me so long to make a hobbit that kind of just looked like a grumpy old like male hobbit. Yeah. Like that's what I wanted, something from the fucking movie, like the guy that screams "proud feet." You know, I wanted that guy, and it's like I kind of got it, but it doesn't look like
not
that.
having a pipe really diminishes that too, and like there's just a lot of elements to this.
And like
that I
you're
feel
saying
like
about
missing.
the cozy game thing, the Switch 2 literally just put out a game about making a fucking fire.
Yeah, I know.
You're
I can't believe that's a real game.
Fire, and it's $30.
I can't believe that's a real game, and people are really paying full price for
it.
That's the craziest thing to me. Is that not only is it real, I can believe anybody would make any game. Yeah. I've seen all kinds of stupid bullshit games. Right? I was around when Goat Simulator came out, and we were like, "Is this serious?" And we didn't realize that it was a joke. what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? If this was anything, it's worth $5. What the fuck is this?
This reminded me of, did you ever, I know you're not a big South Park guy, did you ever see the Guitar Hero episode?
Yes.
So the Chasing the Dragon game where you're injecting heroin chasing the dragon, you never catch the dragon.
Yeah.
This is like, all right, so you make a fire and you just sit there.
Sit there? And that's it.
All right.
That's the entire game.
Like,
okay. This is the game that my parents would have mocked us mercilessly for playing. Is like, you could just go out and make a fire in the yard if you want to make a fire. You can make a fire in real life.
Yeah.
You can clean your house in real life if you want it.
exactly. And like, it's like, all right, but it's like, why can't you, like, there has to be a patch for Tales of the Shire.
I can only imagine. I really believe that Tales of the Shire is going to be kind of closer to like a No Man's Sky.
I hope so.
Of like, when it launched, it had a lot of problems and didn't feel complete and didn't seem to live up to all the expectations that were put upon it. Give it time and we'll see. But I'm hoping that's the case.
And the thing I'm hoping is, since it does have Weta Workshop's name on it, they will go out of their way to make it better because they don't want to look bad.
Yeah.
Because this does make them
Weta
look
has a
bad.
very high level of standard.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily always feel like this hits that level of standard.
No.
The gameplay elements are fun. I will admit it took me a long time to get used to the maps and trying to figure out how to get from point A to point B. The following the bird thing was a little confusing. I started just really relying on putting a way marker on my map and going in that direction. It's not a bad game, but similar to Animal Crossing, I kind of expected there to be more.
Yeah. It feels incomplete.
Yeah.
So, once again, hopefully patches are coming. Like, I think this game could sell gangbusters
absolutely.
if it's fixed.
If it's fixed.
And a good example, which you brought up, which is No Man's Sky, ever since they fixed it, and I think the Switch version sold really well because it was the fixed, patched version that was optimized for the fucking Switch.
Yeah.
And so that played well there. And it's like, dude.
Well, and what has always been the bemoaning of Nintendo fans since the Wii came out, third-party games fucking suck.
Yeah.
Every time, every Switch, every fucking system, the Wii, the Wii U, the Switch 2, every single one of them, especially the Wii, had this just fucking dump truck of bloatware dumped into every GameStop on Earth. And all of it was third-party, and all of it sucked. It was all bad. Every time it was bad. And I really want Nintendo to get to a point where they are... Right now, they're advertising heavily for third-party games. I want them to get to a point where it feels like the obvious solution. The obvious answer is to buy a Nintendo and get whatever game you want on Switch.
Yeah.
I still don't know that is the case for a lot of games. I still look at stuff like the new Final Fantasy Tactics that's coming out, and I wonder, would it be better to get it for a different console?
The only reason I give Square a pass, because they did well on the Switch 1 as far as optimizing and making their games run well. So I would put money behind.
Yeah.
Because then you think about it, all these 2D, 3D games, they wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for their initial Octopath Traveler on Switch. That shot it into the stratosphere, so now they're on all systems. I think Square knows this.
Yeah. I want to see also how they do with their Switch-only Souls game, which wasn't developed by Nintendo, but is only on the Switch.
Yes.
How is that going to go? Because, again, those run chunky. Those run heavy. And, Kelly?
Yes.
Does the Switch 2 have a memory card slot?
Yeah.
It does? Okay.
But it has to be a specific kind of SD card.
Gotcha.
Micro SD Express.
Okay.
They're faster reading,
Gotcha.
almost like an SSD.
So, like, if that's how they have it set up, then these really chunky, heavy games are going to need to work.
Yeah.
Because either you're going to have to get it as a cartridge, or have a ton of extra space lined up on your Switch. Mm-hmm. Because if you can't play that 10% and under game that I play with every laptop I own, where it's like, I've almost run out of memory, but I haven't quite. Mm-hmm. You can't play that game if you have some of these chunkier games.
Well, I'll be honest, that's why I kept the Switch 1. 99.9% of my Switch 1 games is just going to stay on the Switch 1, and I'm just going to play them on that. I only brought over, like, the Zeldas that I could optimize.
Yeah.
I brought over I did get the Bravely Default OG that they just put on Switch 2.
Pokemon Violet is apparently like an entirely different game on
Oh,
Switch
yeah,
2.
absolutely.
It's a fully, completely different game.
But I got 4 words of what Nintendo has to do. Nintendo seal of quality. Yeah. Ever since they stopped that, it was right around the Wii time, and there's the shovelware. And that was them trying to rebound from third parties abandoning the N64 and the GameCube.
Yeah.
It's like, fine, but you overdid it. Like, the quality, maybe allow, like, indies to do whatever the fuck they want, but any major release, which I would put Tales of the Shire as a major release, any major release has to be looked at by Nintendo.
If you're going to charge over $30 for the game,
yes,
it has to have a sale of quality. If it's like a $20, just like an indie game that is kind of like a mobile whatever game, whatever, who fucking cares? But like if this is like a game, if this is a quality game, triple A, double A, quadruple A, quintillion A,
so many A's,
then it has to be better than this, guys.
Yeah,
not Tales of the Shire specifically, but just Nintendo third-party games writ large.
So fingers crossed.
Yes,
I'm definitely fingers crossed. All right, so recently,
yes,
I did watch Alien Romulus.
I've been really curious about this.
Well, it's on my Voodoo or whatever it is.
Oh, you got it, yeah?
It was $4.99.
Yeah.
So that's why I just said, I'm not going to run.
I've had this exact thought 3 or 4 times of like, it's $5, even if it's not good, it has decent reviews. It's supposed to be the best Alien movie of the last 3 Alien movies, which...
Okay. Totally was not.
Okay.
And you might not have the same... So this is my... When you watch it, this is the vibe you're going to get. This is the CW.
Oh no!
Because it's all a like late teen, early 20 younger cast.
Oh boy!
Of all pretty people. And they got Ian Holmes' character in the first one, was it Ash?
Yes,
Ash. So they have an Ash type a version of that, but it's not Ash, it's a different name. But it's did
another
the
de-aging.
Android.
Is it an Ian Holmes
It's
android?
Ian Holmes. Was not great.
So this takes place before Alien?
It takes place after, because they talk about the Nostromo being destroyed.
So how can they have...
It's a weird... Like, I'm still iffy on the timelines.
Okay.
But it takes place after Alien, I think before Aliens.
How is it... Quick aside. How is it that no studio seems to know how to tell time when franchises are involved? Every studio wants a franchise. No studio seems to understand the constraints of time once they have a franchise. And they just are like, fuck it. Ian Holm in this movie, even though it takes place after Ian Holm's character dies. Yeah, fuck it. We're going to do it.
Yeah. It's... Dude, it's... Okay.
Don't even get me started on Prometheus. Jesus.
It is boring. The story is kind of dumb. The aliens look alright, but it's... I think there's some practical, like the first one, tied together with the digital. I came to a conclusion on my issue, and this goes back to what we've been talking about in previous weeks on how I think people are too pretty in these movies for their situations.
Yeah.
Because I look back at the OG Alien.
They all looked like workers.
They all look like workers. And I think the reason is the actors nowadays, especially these younger ones, are just too pretty. Mm-hmm. They just are pampered and too pretty. And like the lead actor, Kaylee Spaney, I think her name is, she's gorgeous. And in this, she's supposed to be playing like this almost like sewer rat who is a scavenger and they're out in space. And it's like, she always just looks so put together. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
The only positive I can say is they got rid of the Sigourney Weaver completely hysterical underwear she has at the end. And they have this girl in boxer shorts. And it's like, okay, that I approve, because... As much as I am a guy and I like looking at Sigourney Weaver in tiny underwear, it was the most ridiculous tiny underwear. It's like, dude,
insane.
You're a horrible human being for making her wear those and say, oh yeah, that's what women are wearing. This.
Well, it's my favorite is still George Lucas saying that bras don't exist in space.
Yeah, which is like, dude,
good job, George.
Terrible,
getting it done.
So like, I give them credit. Yeah, put her in boxer shorts. Okay, that is something. It's a little more believable. But like I'm watching these characters, and it really is a CW show. Like they're having these drama, they're having these little talks, and then there's someone's pregnant. Oh, we don't know who the guy is, and this person likes this person, and it's like, what the fuck am I watching? And everyone's like, oh, it's such a great alien movie. I'm like, no, it's fucking not. There was not one part of this that I felt like that sense of dread or that sense of like awe that you get with Aliens, because of course Aliens is not a horror movie, it's a sci-fi movie. This is like caught in between, and they don't do either part of it right.
A lot of alien movies have fallen into this wayward gap of, are we a horror movie? Are we a sci-fi movie? Are we more alien or aliens?
Yes.
And depending on how much of one you add to the equation, you're going to end up with one situation or another. I feel like Prometheus went too far in one direction. Alien 3 went too far in a different direction. And it's just like, I always come into an alien movie wanting to like it. I really, really want to like it. And every fucking time I come into these things, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Because, like, Alien and Aliens are practically perfect films.
Yes.
There's really no complaints
and I'll
you
be
can
honest,
make about them.
Alien 3, I saw it I actually, for my 16th birthday, I had my dad take me to see it. There's a part of me that still appreciates the skeleton of the movie.
Yes.
It's some of the extra shit. Like, deep down when you watch that movie, if you can look past some of the bad parts, you're like, this actually has some really good set pieces and moments, and I do like the idea of it being this prison planet.
Yeah.
And like, all of that was awesome.
That all
and
works.
then there was just some of the extra shit that was stupid.
It's the prison planet works.
Yes.
Killing Michael Bean.
Oh, that was
fucking,
the worst.
Newt at the beginning of the movie.
Hicks and Newt gone is dumb.
It's fucking asinine.
That's the worst thing.
What are you doing?
Worst fucking idea.
Like, oh, we got to make sure that fucking Sigourney Weaver is alone again. It's like, that's what you did at the beginning of the last one.
Yeah.
She wakes up and gets an email saying that her daughter lived to 80 and died.
Yes.
Because she's been gone so fucking long. And this doesn't serve anything within the body of the movie. It doesn't serve anything for Ripley's character.
Yeah.
It does literally nothing but get rid of Michael Bean and Newt.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all it does. Even fucking Lance Hendrickson shows up again at the end of the movie. It's just Michael Bean and Newt.
And that was another part that I didn't like about Third Room, because I liked how she had to plug Bishop back in. That should have been where it ended with Lance Hendrickson being in that movie.
Yeah.
Having him show up at the end, it's like, oh, dude, you didn't need
What's
to do
happening?
that.
Why is he? What's going on? What's this now? Yeah,
And like the ending with having Waylon come down. It's like they could have made a tight, if they would have had Hicks and Newt survive and had them land on this planet and have the three of them along with these convicts, and then having like the convicts fighting over, they even said there were pedophiles there.
Yeah.
And as awful as it would have been, they could have had a dramatic dynamic with the Newt character. And it's
you have a great scene where Ripley just fucking shoots a guy in the head.
Yes,
for coming after Newt.
Exactly.
And it's just like immediately shows we are not fucking around.
Yeah.
We are not helpless. Do not take this the wrong way. We will fucking end your life.
Yes. And have Michael Bean like fucked up in the beginning, and then him having to like
he slowly
crawl out of bed.
And,
exactly.
And finally, by the third act, he's trying to drag himself along, and now there's this worry of, is he doing too much? Is he going to kill himself by doing too much?
There were, like I said, skeleton that movie, great.
Execution, terrible.
Alien Resurrection, one of the few movies I've walked out of in my lifetime.
Yeah. I don't blame you. It's not good. It's not a good movie.
The basketball scene, I was like...
Yeah. Oh, that scene kills everybody.
Even though she did make that
shot in real life,
Which I love the look, knowing that now, and knowing that the look on Ron Perlman's face was
real.
legitimate.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
No, that was the first movie where I was like, oh, hey, this Winona Ryder. I like her. And then, like, the rest of the movie, I'm just like, this sucks.
Yeah.
This fucking sucks.
And it had,
sucks.
It had the look.
Yeah.
And it had the opposite of my problem with this, where all of the characters in it look like they belonged. Even Winona Ryder, who was like in her heyday, they made her look dirty.
Yeah. She looks like an urchin.
Exactly. And that's what... But then the movie sucked.
Yeah. But everything about that movie sucked.
Oh, it's
the Ripley clone sucked. The Ripley alien merger clone sucked. That whole stupid test tube room that they have, that sucked. Fucking Chucky being the demented doctor. I think that was Brad Dourif.
Yeah, it was Brad Dourif.
Like, all of this sucks, guys. This is all bad. The one, he, like, wants to fuck the aliens. This is bad.
Dude.
You made a bad movie.
It was fucking terrible.
You made a bad movie.
Yeah.
And so, I do want to see Alien Romulus, but I do have that concern of, like, Prometheus, I so badly want to like, and it's just a fucking joke. Top to bottom, left to right, it's just a fucking joke. The entire time, it's a joke. David gets jealous of not Tom Hardy, Logan Gordon Green or whatever, Logan Marshall Green, because he's having sex with. What is happening?
Yeah,
what is happening in this movie? And then you get into the falling vertical, and you're just like, you could just run left or right, and you'll be fine. Just don't run straight. We gotta run straight. This whole movie sucks. And then you get fucking Covenant. Covenant I really wanted to like because I really like Watterson. What's her name? But I love her. She's great. And I like Billy Crudup. I tolerate Danny McBride. This is a decent cast, and it's just not Catherine Watterson.
But once again, they killed off the main character from the movie before off screen.
Yes!
It's like, how many filmmakers have to fuck that up for someone to say, don't kill off your main character from your previous movie off fucking screen?
Why?
And don't bring Palpatine back in the crawl.
You set
don't do those things.
This whole thing up in Prometheus. This whole thing with I almost called her Rooney Mara. Numi Rapace.
Yes.
You set up this whole thing with her. This whole thing, and she's jets off into the sky like Ripley, and she has David's head and this weird alien baby, all this stuff, and then all of it is resolved off screen.
Yeah,
are you fucking insane? What is wrong with you? And then you have this weird scene of Michael Fassbender making out with himself, like not actually, but it gets really close, really weirdly close to him making out with himself, and you're just kind of being led along on this, and you're like, what's happening? I don't understand.
And then you come to the realization that Michael Fassbender created the Xenomorphs.
Yes.
And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
What's happening now?
Dude.
Excuse me? And then you have like the weird pollen in the shrubbery that they walk through, and it poisons them, that has nothing to do with the Xenomorphs. And you're just like, what is happening? There's so many strands in this movie. So when I saw Alien Romulus, I was like, this looks like it could be back to basics. We're in space. We're on a ship.
That's the thing. It is 100% back to basics, but they just don't do it well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, it's not good.
It shows you what the importance of a director, writer, and, in the case of the original Aliens, a incredible art team.
Yeah.
Outrageous, incredible, hard to recreate in the modern sense art team. I don't know if you've never looked into the making of Alien, you really should, because there's so many elements to that they had to navigate around and figure out how to get right. And they didn't have the benefit of being like, oh, we can just fix it with CGI. The plan was to have a dog wear the alien costume, and that didn't work. So now we got to come up with an entire new plan while we're shooting the movie.
Well, and there's the lead, her brother, quotations, is a Wayland android named Andy.
Okay.
And I'm not going to give it away, but there is this glitch he has that incapacitates him. And of course it happens in the moment that they need the tension to build.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it like, this is the laziest fucking writing.
The worst moment for something bad to happen, something bad happens.
And it's like,
wow.
It was the jump scare cliche, but not jump scare. It's the building of tension cliche. It's like, oh, this person got knocked out. The alien's coming. Are they going to wake up in time? Or this. And you're like, dude,
what's going to happen?
Can't you be fucking, just do something
good
that no one has ever done before?
Do something original.
Do something unique.
Do something unique.
Yes.
Do something that is inspired by.
And it's fucking impossible.
Going back to Covenant, if they had decided that this was going to be like another tale in the Alien universe, but not connected to Xenomorphs.
Yes.
And so you have all this botany stuff of this planet trying to kill anybody that lands on it.
Yeah.
Then that's really interesting. That's kind of what Annihilation is about in a weird roundabout way. This means nothing.
No.
This is a hat on a hat. And nobody needs two hats.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, one hat is good enough for most people.
Yeah, no.
So
it's dog shit.
I don't know. I don't get it. I still want to watch it. I want to watch Alien Earth. I'm very curious about this because the Alien name brings me in.
Yes.
And they've been trying for fucking 45 years.
The one thing they have not been able to do is what Predator did.
Yeah.
And rebound with two good things. Like, so far, ain't happened,
We're
man.
going to see how Elle Fanning's android is integrated into all of this later this year in
True.
Badlands. We're going to see. It's not that I don't have faith in Badlands. I do. It's very curious to me that Hulu had two Predator things and decided to release them 6 months apart.
Yeah.
And that smacks of Matrix Resurgence and Revelations or whatever it was. Reloaded and Revelations. I was just like, do you really want to release this within 6 months of each other?
The funny part is, and you're talking about this, there were two, when I was growing up, there were two franchises that people desperately wanted. Jason versus Freddy and Alien versus Predator.
And we got them.
The Jason versus Freddy is a dumb movie, but it's a fucking awesome dumb movie.
It delivers on the premise.
Every ounce of the premise. It is, I love that fucking movie. It is like chef's kiss, because they knew exactly what the people wanted. They knew exactly who these characters were, and they fucking just gave it to you. And they gave you a wink and a nod at the end, but they knew, once again, they could not make this movie without Robert Englund being Freddy. And they're like, we're not going to do another one. We did one. It was fun. Don't need to do another one. And
Are you saying Alien versus Predator Requiem isn't a good movie, Steve?
Not even the first Alien versus Predator good movie. But like the sad thing is, Predator 2 gave us that scene in the ship at the end where you see the xenomorph skull. Yeah. And I remember everyone losing their shit. Yeah. And the best they can do is fucking Alien vs. Predator for a PG-13. I want to talk to those fucking executives that decided to take two of the #1 R-rated sci-fi horror franchises and make a PG-13 fucking movie.
Yeah.
Combining them.
I want to talk to so many executives because I genuinely wonder where they get their ideas from sometimes. Because between that kind of nonsense where you have a property that is clearly for a specific age set, and then you try and expand that age set younger to make it more accessible, therefore ruining it for the older age set that is actually defyingly interested in it. But also, like, the new way of doing things in Hollywood, which is that, our current crop of 12-year-olds are now 25. We better come up with a new crop of 12-year-olds. No. Keep making movies for the audience that got you here. Stop resetting. Marvel.
Yes.
Stop hitting the reset button.
Because, once again, I'm using Mortal Kombat. I got my son hooked on that first one. In fact, we watched that last night. You want to watch the OG one. And that got him excited in these new ones, which are made for us. Yeah. And it's like, that's what you need to do. I will take my child and show him years from now, the OG Aliens and Predator, and then he will want to see an R-rated version because that's the fucking movie.
Well, and like, I get it. We've been through like the last 30 years of extremely litigious boomers who are like, I took my child to a movie and it was rated PG-13 and they said fucking showed a boobie. And I'm like, that's not the movie studio's fault. That's your fault for being fucking dumb and bringing your 7-year-old to that.
It's like the parent that buys their 10-year-old fucking Grand Theft Auto and said, I had no idea. So you're a fucking idiot.
So like, make the movie the way that should be made and then I'll deal with whether I want to bring my child to see it. If I think that my child is okay with seeing this R-rated movie where someone's going to get their spine tore out of their body, fuck it, let's go.
It's the old Howard Stern argument. If you don't like it, turn off your fucking radio.
Then don't come.
Exactly.
Then don't go.
Exactly. It's not fucking made for you. That's what we hear all the time when people make movies and they're like, well, it's not made for you. Well, you know what?
Star Wars isn't made for you anymore.
RoboCop 3 shouldn't be PG-13 because it's not fucking made for 13-year-olds.
No. I would love to see a 13-year-old react to the guy who's going to rape a woman in the first one and get shot in the dick.
Well, and like that, we can go on this forever. We got to move on.
Yeah, we do, because otherwise Murderbot's going to get punted again.